Hey awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another Baldur's Gate 3 build guide. In this one we're gonna be doing a fighter build, a pure fighter, one of the non-multi-class builds that we're gonna do. The reason why a fighter is really good by itself, you can multi-class with other builds, or you can multi-class it into other builds, but by itself it's still really strong. It is melee and can be pretty tanky. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you everybody who's been watching, especially leaving a like, comment, subscribing, and sharing. It helps the channel a lot. If you guys can keep doing it, that'll be amazing. The goal is to get to 1K by the summer. Let's try to get that. Also, if you don't like the video, dislike it, but let me know what you don't like so I can know how I can improve. Also, we have our Discord, link is down in the description, and I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We are just yesterday did our first stream of honor mode. It's doing pretty decent so far. Almost got wiped, but we're still winning. And you'll be able to throw some curveballs at me if you guys want to. But let's get started with the build. So we are doing pure fighter build because fighters can be pretty strong. So we're gonna start. Yeah, we're also gonna be talking about subclass because there's only one really great subclass. The other one is okay. But let's talk about with starting race. I'm gonna give you 4 options. Well, kinda, it's 3 technically. Wood elf and wood half elves are really good because they give you high movement speed, which allow you to close the gap between you and the enemy a lot faster. Because as a front line, as a melee, you will be struggling with sometimes closing distance possibly. So having that little extra movement speed will help you. Another good race is Githyanki or using Lysel because they gain proficiency with long swords, great swords. They have also astral knowledge, second wind. They have, well, not second wind, sorry. They have astral knowledge. They have Githyanki jumps, mage hand, and a few other stuff. They're really good for that. If you want to play shorter race, Gold Dwarf are pretty good. They do have a penalty of less movement at 7.5 versus regular 9 for other races. But they gain proficiency with axes and hammers, and they get 1 extra HP per level, which can give you 12 more HP, which might not seem like a lot, but it can be really helpful, right? They're also fun to play. And another really good one is Half Orc because they get extra dice and critical hits. And instead of going down the first time, they'll go to 1 HP. It's pretty good with that, right? So we're going to be using Lysel and we're going with fighter, right? So for your fighting style, I definitely recommend with great weapon fighting because when you roll a 1 or a 2 die for an attack with two-handed melee attack, or melee weapon, sorry, that dice is re-rolled really nice, right? That's my personal opinion. For your ability points, you know, we don't necessarily need wisdom because what you can do is you can go with something like this. Dexterity 15, you can, right? But this allows you to, you're not going to pass intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving checks, or charisma talking, but having 17 strength will allow you to hit harder. You can lower dexterity because, you know, it doesn't give you actual initiative. So you can drop it down to 14 and maybe get, for example, like wisdom to 10. Something like this also works out. Constitution to 16 because we want to be able to be tanky, especially early levels where we don't hit as hard, be a little bit hard to survive. So having high constitution will help. Dexterity, so we'll get a little bit of initiative, right? Which will be really helpful. Wisdom, just for the saving throws, right? For your skill proficiencies, it's up to you. Definitely recommend athletics and, or sorry, not athletics, acrobatics and either intimidation or survival. You know, it depends on your background you chose. Which, speaking of backgrounds, the better ones would be Outlander or Soldier. But again, it's up to you on which you pick. Right? There's your starting levels, right? It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. Mind you, we'll be going over the early game items and late game items at the end of the video. Now at level 2, you get some pretty cool stuff. And by that you get nice HP, but you also get Action Surge. Action Surge is massive. It immediately gains an extra action to use this turn. It's only once, per short rest, right? Might not seem like huge, but if you have multiple attacks, right, in the later levels, and especially with a potion of speed, that can be really helpful to take down a boss or a really tough enemy. Right, but it is once per short rest, which is still pretty good. Now at level 3, we'll get a subclass and more health. So you can go with Eldritch Knight, Champion, but honestly the best for this one is Battle Master. Eldritch Knight I wouldn't recommend because it is more spellcaster and whatnot. Champion can be okay just for the sake of improved critical, but honestly Battle Master is better because you get superiority die, which you can use 4 of them, right? And you get 3 maneuvers. My personal favorite ones is Riposte, is whenever a hostile creature misses you with a melee attack, you expend the superiority die to retaliate. But sometimes if they just miss, you just, react, which is pretty cool. Can be pretty helpful, especially with the later stages. If you don't want that, well, also recommend Menacing because you get melee and ranged, which you either hit him with a melee attack or use your bow or crossbow to hit him for some damage and possibly Frighten. And Frighten makes them just not be able to do much. They cannot move, and you give them a disability on ability checks and attack rolls, which is pretty good. Another good one is Disarming, where you can possibly disarm enemies, and that is really good because it allows you to disarm enemies, which some of them have really nice weapons that will do a lot of damage. So instead of just hitting you with a sword or halberd or axe, warhammer, whatever, they'll just be punching you, which is pretty nice. If you do not want Riposte, you can go with Disarming, Maneuvering, and another one is Pushing Attack, right? Which means you will hit him and possibly push him 4.5 meters back, which can make him go off the cliff or a mountain or just go straight into Abyss. Mind you, you lose the gear if they go into the Abyss, but you will instantly eliminate him. So that's also a pretty decent choice. Right? If you go with Githyanki, you get the Sonic Jumps, which triples your jumping distance, which is pretty nice. Now, the superiority die reset every short and long rest, so it's pretty nice. At level 4, you just get a feat and you get more health. So for your first feat, I definitely recommend Great Weapon Master. For the sake of you get Great Weapon Master bonus attack, which means when you land a critical hit or you kill an enemy with a melee weapon attack, you can make another melee attack as a bonus action. Mind you, get -5 to your attack rolls, but you get 10 more damage. So I turn that off for now, just because the bonus attack can be helpful. If you don't want to go with a Great Weapon Master, you can go with the ability score improvement and get your strength to 19. If this is your main character, definitely go with ASI to get your strength to 19. That way you can get onto Ethelhair and get your strength to 20. Right? But if you want to use a late game gloves, I wouldn't use onto Ethelhair. Right? On that, I would use it on somebody that needs it, and I'll talk about it. It's the Hill Giant gloves that set your strength to 23 no matter what. Right? But you can use ability strength improvement to get your strength to 19. Or Great Weapon Master, which is what I'm gonna do. At level 5, you get a pretty hefty boost in terms of, well, you get an extra attack, so you hit twice. And if you use your action surge, you get your 2 attacks again, which is pretty nice. And with the potion speed, you have 2 attacks, so you can have up to 6 attacks already. With Elixir of Bloodlust, you can get even more. See how you can scale pretty heavy into multiple attacks. You also get, if you get the Yankee 1 Misty Step used per long rest. Right. Now at level 6, unlike other classes, you get an extra feat, which is huge. So if you went with ability score improvement or ASI, you can pick Great Weapon Master. If you didn't, definitely go with ability score improvement. That way you can pump your strength to 19, right? Now at level 7, you get to choose 2 more battle maneuvers, and you get an extra superiority die. So here you can go with either Disarming, Pushing, Menacing, whichever you didn't pick. You can also get Evasive Footwork. It's a passive feature. You can evade attack by imposing disadvantage. It will cost superiority die, so use it how you want. I usually pick Riposte and Sometimes either evasive or goading, depending how I build my fighter. But you can go like this, you know, having evasive, menacing, pushing, riposte, and disarming attacks. Right. Now level 8, like every class, you get another feat. So here, you can choose a little bit up to you. You can go with an extra ability score improvement, getting your strength to 20, and then putting something else in another one. Or what I like to do is get alert, because more initiative allow you to go faster, you know. You can go with different setup for your feat. You can go with alert first, then great weapon master, and then ASI for your third feat, but it's up to you. Alert just allows you not to be surprised, and you get 5 bonus to initiative. So instead of having 2 initiative, I have +7, which is massive thing, because I'll be able to go first a lot more times. At level 9, you don't get much besides Indomitable. Indomitable is you become as durable as an iron golem. Whenever you fail a saving throw, you can roll again using the new result, which can be really great, you know. At level 10, whew, you get some cool stuff. Right, you get more health, but you get also improved combat superiority, which means your size superior dice will be now 1d10, you know, and you get 2 extra maneuvers. So you can see you pretty much can have a lot of them, right? So you can go with something like precision attack, where you can spend superior dice to add a result to attack roll, which isn't great. You can also go with rally, you know, just to give your ally 8 temporary hit points for 5 turns, which might not seem great, but it's okay, just to, you know, give them a little bit more tankiness if you want. You know, you can go with trip attack, you know, to make them prone. It must be large or smaller. It can't be like massive, right? So you can go with those two, but at the end of the day, you pick what maneuvers you would like at this stage. Now at level 11, you don't get really much. You just get health, but I'm joking. You get an improved extra attack, which means you will be attacking 3 times with your main hand, you know, which can be massive. With potion of speed, bloodlust, and action surge, you'll be able to attack crap ton of time, doing massive damage with proper gear. Just disgusting. Right? And level 12, you get your basics things like your last feat, you know. And with a just 16 constitution, you can see we're at 112 HP. So for your last feat, you can go a bit of the score improvement if you haven't. You know, alert, great weapon master already should be taken if you want. And for here, you can go with almost pretty much anything. If I can find it, you can go with Martial Adept if you want, because it'll give you learn 2 more maneuvers from Battle Master subclass, and you get an extra superior die to fuel them, you know, which can be good. If you want, you can go with extra medium armor mastery or stuff like that, or you can even go with this, you know, with mobile. But it's at the end of the day, it's up to you. You can go skilled, shield master if you want to use one-handed, but again, you shouldn't be taking great weapon attack with it. You can also go with savage attacker. You know, when making melee attack, you roll your damage dice twice and use the highest result if you want. So that's what I will pick. Right. If you chose battle maneuvers, you can go with fiending attack and precision attack. Now, that's it just for the leveling and stuff. Now let's talk about early game gear, and that's what I'm wearing. Definitely want to use Grimskull Helm, because attackers cannot land critical hits on you, which is massive, and you get resistance to fire damage. So taking less fire damage is huge, you know. And the cloak of protection is really nice, giving you 1 to armor class and 1 to saving throws. Pretty amazing, you know. As you can see, I already have 19 armor with this starting gear. Adamantine Splendid Armor is really amazing, and it reduces your incoming damage by 2. When you get hit by a melee attack, you send the attacker reeling for 3 turns. You do get disadvantage on stealth checks, and you get attackers cannot land critical hits, which is the same thing as the helmet. But the reason you wear a helmet just for the resistance to fire damage. If you don't want that, you can go with whatever helmet you want. But adamantium splint armor is absolutely necessary. Just reducing the damage and sending attackers back is pretty nice. For boots of genial striding, which means the wearer's movement speed is unimpeded by difficult terrain, which can be helpful closing that distance if there's mud, if there's ice, if there's any difficult terrain, it will help you pretty much get rid of it. For gloves of the glowing underdog, they give you the wearer gains advantage on melee attack rolls while surrounded by 2 or more foes, and you get strength saving throws. And since you're melee, you're more than likely going to be surrounded by multiple enemies, so getting that advantage on melee attack rolls will be helpful. For rings, Chaos Glowing Ring is really nice because it gives you 2 extra damage, if the targets are illuminated. Actually, no, sorry, apologize, wrong ring. The ring that I'm thinking of is, if I can remember it, nope, is this one, Caustic Ring, not Callous Ring, Caustic Ring. It gives you 2 acid damage per your attack, and if you're attacking 3 times at level 11, it's 6 damage. With Action Surge, more, and you can see per attack it stacks. So if you're attacking 5 times, that's 10 extra damage. You're attacking 10 times, it's 20 damage. It's huge. So it's not Callous Ring, it's Caustic Ring. I apologize. Another ring that's huge is Crush Ring. Gives you 3 more movement speed, which allows you to close that distance better. And for your Amulet of Misty Steps, it gives you Misty Steps per short rest, allows you to close that distance a little faster or get to progress and skip certain stuff easier. For your melee, you can go with Everburn Blade, sorry. That's if you can kill Commander's Hawk. If you don't, you can go with Sword of Justice to get yourself also Tear Protection, which increases your armor class by 2 until long rest. It is a concentration spell, but getting 2 more armor class, especially early game, is pretty nice. You can go with Blooded Great Axe or any other weapon that is two-handed. For ranged, definitely recommend Bow of Awareness to get yourself +1 to initiative. So you can see my initiative is 8 instead of +7, allowing me to, close to attack first. Right? That is pretty much your starting gear. For your endgame gear, that's where the fun comes in. Definitely Helm of Baldurian, because it heals you for 2 hit points every turn, gives you an extra 2 armor class and saving throws. You cannot be stunned, and attackers cannot land critical hits, which is already huge. Just being immune to stun, massive help. Right, for Cloak, you can stick with the Cloak of Protection, or you can go with Cloak of Elemental Absorption, or the one that I like to do is the Cloak of Displacement, which gives you, at the beginning of the wearer's turn, the cloak activates, granting enemies disadvantage on attack rolls against the target's wearer. The effect lasts until the wearer takes damage, which gives them disadvantage, and with high armor class, you'll be pretty good. For your Armor of Persistence, it reduces your incoming damage by 2. You also get Legendary Persistence to gain Resistance and Blade Ward. Right? What it is Blade Ward has resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attack, which is massive. Just think about it. It reduces that armor by 50%. So you take 50% less bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage. Massive. Resistance just gives you +1 d4 to saving throws, which can be helpful. For your gauntlets of the Hill Giant Strength. The reason why it sets your strength to 23 so you can get rid of the strength and just get more constitution if you want, or dexterity so you can get initiative, or intelligence, wisdom, and stuff like that. But having the Hill Giant Strength is really nice, so you hit harder. For boots of Persistence, and the reason why is you gain freedom of movement and long stride, as well as dexterity saving throw +1. What freedom of movement is, it's movement speed cannot be reduced by difficult terrain, spells, or magical effect, as well as you cannot be paralyzed or restrained. And long stride gives you 3 extra meters of movement speed, which is huge because you're already immune to stun, now you're immune to paralyzed and restrained, which is massive, so you do not get CC'd. And with 3 meters of movement speed, you can still keep your crushing, which gives you 6 more meters of movement speed. For your rings, you can go with the ring of regeneration, which heals you for 1 to 4 hit points, but I would definitely recommend Killer Sweetheart ring, you know. Apologize for that. There we go. You know, Killer Sweetheart gives you, when you kill a creature, your next attack roll will be critical, and it happens once every long rest. You know, massive. You can also wear for your amulet. You can keep the Misty Steps amulet, but definitely recommend Amulet of Greater Health. Set the wearer Constitution score to 23. 23, as well as you have Adventure and Constitution saving throws. So with that, as you can see, I have 148 HP. And that means I can dump my Strength and Constitution, have them set at 8 at character creation, or respect, set at that. Get my Dexterity to 16. You have my Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma higher, you know, or keep the Dexterity at 14. You have my Charisma high, so I can use it as a Persuasion checks and stuff like that, or speech checks, and then get my Wisdom and Intelligence high. But that way I don't have to worry about Strength and Constitution, I can just dump them, right? Which is massive. And you can see 148 HP on it. Frontliner is massive. For your weapons, there's only one great weapon, especially with this amount of strength, is Baldurian's Giant Slayer, which on hit double the damage from your strength modifier. This weapon grants you advantage on attack rolls against large, huge, and gargantuan creatures. It also gives you a beautiful giant form, which you can only do once every long rest or every short rest, and you grow into a fearsome size. You weapon deal an additional 1d6 damage. You gain 27 extra temporary hit points, and as well you get advantage on saving throws and on strength checks, which is huge. 27 extra HP, doing 1d6 extra damage, and getting advantage on saving throws and strength checks is huge. As well, it's doing even more damage. Right. For your bow, you can use Titan String Bow if you want to, because Titan String, which makes you do damage equal to your strength modifier. Yeah. But I would definitely recommend also, instead of that, Titan String is taking a dead shot, which gives you the number you need to roll a critical while attack is reduced by 1, and you can stack it. But the other one is not necessary. But that way you don't have to roll 20, you can roll 19. You can also keep the Bow of Awareness to keep your initiative at 8. But if you don't really care about that, you can go with something like that. This build is like just done right there. For potions, definitely Potion of Speed, you know. At higher level, you have 6 attacks per turn, you know. Huge. You know, you can craft them pretty easy. And you can use Elixir of Bloodlust to get yourself, you know, an extra attack when you kill an enemy, which you should be able to kill him, you know, because as you can see, Elixir Bloodlust, once per turn when you kill a foe, you gain 5 temporary hit points and an additional action. So Potion of Speed, Elixir Bloodlust, and Action Surge, you can attack crap ton of times, dishing out massive damage, especially if you towards the late game. But that is it for this build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. I hope to see you this Friday on stream for more Honor Mode shenanigans. But don't forget to stay awesome. I'll see you next one. Bye bye.